Hello, this is Melanie with the App Garden, and this video is going to take a look at preventative maintenance and what it may be able to offer your district. Preventative maintenance comes in handy for things that need to be done on a routine basis, maybe equipment that needs to be, routinely maintained, or even a space that, would need something done to it on a repeated schedule. Also, preventative maintenance may be good for something you think of right at the top, let's say you're in the middle of the day and you think of something, you can go ahead and use this preventative maintenance to generate that work order, even if it's one time. That way, at least you're doing it, while you're thinking about it. Preventative maintenance is located here on the left-hand side, and it is right by this wrench. And when you click that little plus button, it's going to expand. So first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at adding a preventative maintenance. When you go to add a preventative maintenance initially, it's just like the work ticket as if you were to add work order. So we'll go ahead and pick a location, a space within that location, the service category. If there's any equipment that's going to be tied to this preventative maintenance, you're able to do it right here as you're building this. And select that. Give it a description. Here you have the opportunity to attach any files that you might think may be helpful to support this preventative maintenance. Also, if it's a document that's currently stored in your library, you can always pull it from your library right here under Choose from Library. You can always require an approval after it's been completed. So even if your system for your district is not set up for an administrator to approve a work order after it's been completed for closure, then you can specify that this preventative maintenance does need to be handled that way. So that way, once the technician marks it completed, then you can go ahead, review it and decide to close it. Once you hit next, you'll be taken here to the tasking feature. So this is just like the backside when you're working on a work order. So to use the tasking feature in a preventative maintenance, you simply hit Add New Task, give it a description, and you can automatically assign it to somebody. If you choose to assign it to somebody, it will automatically go as soon as that preventative maintenance is pushed out to that technician. So then that technician will receive the notification once it's been generated, and they'll know that it's a task they have to complete. This comes in handy for things like maybe checklists that you want to build, things that need to be done, or even if it's going to take multiple technicians or multiple departments to work on this particular preventative maintenance. Now, if you do not choose a technician for the task, then when the work order generates as a brand new work order, you can go ahead and decide to assign those tasks out at that time. What's unique about preventative maintenance versus just a regular work order is that you can actually have this auto assigned to an external vendor or an internal user once it's created. So that way it would go straight to them and they can go ahead and start work. Of course, if you don't select anybody, the ticket would generate as a brand new work ticket, and then at that point you can start assigning it out. You'll again have the opportunity to attach any files or anything from your document library. These are your frequency options. You can do a start date and end date. So maybe for those thoughts you're thinking of in the future, that might be a one-time deal. You can go ahead and just have it generate once by giving it that end date. If you don't put an end date, it will just keep generating based on the frequency until you decide to manually stop it. Here you can set the work order to generate so many days before it's supposed to be completed. And you can also set out reminders with messaging. So here you can remind all the administrators in the system, the user or the external vendor who's going to be assigned, or just yourself. And then you can have it generate as many days in advance as you like. And then again, here's a box where you can go ahead and type out that messaging. When you're done, hit save. And now you've added a preventative maintenance that will generate on its own. If this is a preventative maintenance that is going to be done at maybe multiple locations, Instead of entering the preventative maintenance, for each location that you have, you can go to List Preventative Maintenance, find the preventative maintenance that you're looking for, choose Copy, and then at that point you can edit the details like the location and the space, and then of course if there's equipment attached, the different equipment. And you'll just want to make sure you confirm the date that you want it to start and the frequency, just in case it's a little different. And then once you hit save, now that preventative maintenance will also show up for that other location. So it saves you a few steps. Here under List Generated Work Orders, you can see a history of work orders that have been generated from preventative maintenance. To sort through these, it's just like under all work orders. You can do a drag and drop. So let's say that you want it separated out by location. Simply click on location and drop it there in that blue bar. And now it's going to be broken out by locations. All right, and you'll see that break in that page. So after we are done looking at 000, then it'll break and then you can start location 010. Just gives you a nice, easier view, if you're looking for things. And of course, you can always sort by filters. There are filters just like in Excel. So you can go ahead and do a range. I'm going to go back to List Preventative Maintenance. So once you find the preventative maintenance that you're looking for, if you click this plus sign, you're going to be able to see any work orders that have been generated from this preventative maintenance. And I'll show you a good example here. So you can see so far I've had one work order generate for this particular preventative maintenance, and it's still in the status of new. So obviously it wasn't automatically assigned to a technician or a department or an external vendor. So let's say that I look at that and I say, oh, it's new, I need to assign it. If you click on that work order number, you'll be taken directly to the ticket, so then you can go ahead and do your assigning. Also, if you have somebody who's going to be leaving your district, any preventative maintenance that's linked to them can be bulk transferred to somebody else. So in this case, let's say that Barbara is leaving and that Bill will be taking over all of the preventative maintenance that she was currently working on. Once you do that and hit save, all of those preventative maintenance and all of the upcoming work orders that would be pertaining to that preventative maintenance will now go to Bill instead of Barbara. All right, thank you so much for your time today. Hopefully that's enough to get you started. And if you have any questions or need any assistance with this, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email address is support@app-garden.com, or you can simply just hit the help button and email support. Thanks again.